Welcome back to the Relationship Refinery. I'm Asia, here to inspire you to redefine as well as refine the way that you view healthy relationships. In this series, we've been talking about 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, and learning how to love, or what love is. Today, we're tackling 1 Corinthians 13, 5, so that you can learn how to love in your romantic relationships. So whether that's a marriage, or if you're just looking to enter into a marriage or a romantic relationship, 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7 can help you to accomplish that. Go ahead and subscribe as well as hit the notification bell before we get started. 1 Corinthians 13:5 says that the second half of 1 Corinthians 13:5 says that it's not easily angered and it does not keep record of wrong. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it means to be angry. Anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. It does not say that you will not get angry. It says that you are not easily angered. So if you're just like, well, that's just how I am. I've heard people say I'm just bipolar. And I want to let you know that that's not what bipolar is. I don't know where we got this idea that being bipolar means that you get mad easily, but that's not it. Take a look at the DSM-5 to see what it means to be bipolar. It's not about getting mad easily. But anyway, it does not say that you cannot get angry. It just says that it's not easily angered. So if you are someone who is easily upset, first of all, if you're not married, you might not want to get married, because in a marriage, it's two people that's becoming one. Of course, you're going to get upset. You also might not want to have children because your children are going to upset you. You have to learn how to regulate your own emotions. And as I've stated before, those are your emotions for you to do what you need to do with. It's not your spouse's responsibility to take on your anger and learn how to fix it for you. That is your responsibility because it's your anger. Take a moment to understand what it means for you to be angry. How can you recognize the things that triggers you? How can you recognize the things how can you recognize the physical symptoms within your body that lets you know that you are getting upset? And then what can you do to calm yourself down? So whether it means taking a walk, whether it means deep breathing, practicing deep breathing. I have a video where I talk about box breathing. That's something that I use myself, as well as I encourage my clients to do the same thing. Finding hobbies and other creative outlets to release your anger, but you are not to take them out on your partner. And ways to not become easily angered means that, once again, you're going to have to recognize your triggers and how it feels inside your body so that you can stop it. But it also means that in the middle of an argument, if you're feeling flooded, which is also something I recommend my couples to do, if you're feeling flooded, take a moment, pause, say, hold on, I'm getting upset. Or use those I statements. Once again, I feel upset. This conversation is not going, it's not feeling productive. I think we need to take a break. Let's return to this conversation in an hour. Okay? Or if you need the rest of the night, then, let's return to this tomorrow after work or tomorrow morning or something like that. Of course, it'd be better if you can resolve it that night, because the Bible also says, do not let the sun go down on your anger. But if that's not possible, then I do strongly suggest that y'all come back to the conversation. Don't just say, we need to talk about this later, and then y'all never come back to it, because now you're just sweeping everything under the rug. This goes along with 1 Corinthians 13:4 that says love is patient. Be patient with your partner. They're human. They're going to make mistakes. Now, if they continuously do things that are upsetting you, then I strongly suggest that y'all go to couples therapy, because maybe there is miscommunication to where you are conveying a need or a desire or want or something you don't want, and they're not fully understanding it. So then couples therapy can help y'all get on the same page about it. But be patient with your partner. They're learning. Once again, y'all are two different people who are coming together to become one, coming together to make decisions, important decisions. So you just have to be patient with that. Also, something that I heard at church that I feel like goes along with this, this past Sunday. I'm gonna summarize it or put it in my own words, but he was pretty much saying that, remember, actually I can't remember if it was him or his wife, but either way, they were saying that remember who your partner is. So when your partner does something, you know that they're a good person. You married a good person. You married somebody who loves you. So don't automatically assume that they did this to upset you, because would your partner actually intentionally do things to upset you? And if that's the case, then why are you with this person, or why did you choose to marry this person? And that's something definitely to bring up within a couples counseling session. But if you remember, okay, this partner loves me, this person loves me, they're here for me, they support me, they're not trying to upset me, then you can see it through the lens of maybe this is an accident. Maybe they were, they weren't thinking, or they just forgot or something like that. Then that allows you, or supposed to allow you, to relax and understand that, like I said, this person is not doing it intentionally. So that should help you to calm down and not be so easily angered. What are some ways that you regulate your emotions when you're feeling angry? Leave your answers in the comments below. And then the next part of that is that love does not keep record of wrong. Now, this is a very big one. This is a very big one. Just like the Lord gives us new mercies every day, we are called to give our partner new mercies every day as well. We can't bring yesterday's problems into today, because then you can't have a healthy marriage in that way. And I know that that's a lot easier said than done. I know it. Especially if there's deep-rooted issues such as, infidelity, or whether that's financial infidelity, sexual infidelity, emotional infidelity, infidelity of any kind. It's not just okay, well, you did that 2 weeks ago, so I'm just going to let it go. I understand that. It's not that simple, but that is where couples counseling can come in. That's where y'all are going to have to do some really deep work. Y'all going to have to do some internal work, as well as come together and do work within the marriage. And understand that at that point, the marriage is not going to return the same. Y'all have to find a new normal, and finding a new normal and discovering what that new relationship looks like can help to ease that process. And I'm not at all telling you that, once again, if that happened 2 weeks ago, that I'm saying, oh, you need to be over it by now. It's going to take some time, and you have to allow yourself to feel the emotions and go through the emotions, so that you're not just trying to jump from, point A to point B, because then that's going to stifle your growth in that area. It's going to stifle you're going to suppress your emotions, and at some point you're just going to explode. So how do you not keep record of wrong? Some ways is through, of course, therapy, but some other ways is through communication. So do not hold on to things that are bothering you. If your partner does something that upsets you, make sure you use the I statements, and you just communicate that I don't like when you do this, or it worries me, or it bothers me, or it makes me feel unimportant. It makes me feel this way when this happens, and this is what I would like to happen instead. Communicate. Do not hold on to things. Now, also understand, like, if you're just hungry, or if you're sleepy, or if you're just irritated, stressed from work, then maybe those things that seem like they're minor, but they're really bothering you, they may not actually be bothering you. It might just be that, once again, you're hungry, sleepy, so on and so forth. And then that's why it's important for you to also take care of yourself, because you cannot be an attentive husband, an attentive wife, if you are not taking care of yourself. But don't hold on to the things that bother you. Don't hold on to anger. Make sure that you release that in healthy ways, and let your partner know how you feel. That's one way that you'll be able to be forgiving, because you can't forgive somebody if you don't communicate the action that bothered you, right? And then also practice apologizing. There are some people who you're human. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to upset your partner. Your partner's going to upset you. Take the time out to say, I'm sorry. But the best way to show that you're sorry is, of course, through action. Don't just apologize and go back and do the same thing. Be very intentional about the way that you apologize and the action that you take afterwards. This goes for you as well as your partner. That is one way that people are able to forgive, is if they see changed behavior. Once again, if a problem occurs, it's difficult for you to forgive the person if they continue doing it. So if you are continuously doing something that your partner has already communicated to you, and you're just like, well, that's just how I am. No, it's not. You're going to have to make the change. Once the two people get married, y'all become one, which means you cannot just think as yourself. You have to think for the relationship, for the marriage. Did you know that holding on to unforgiveness as well as anger can lead to illnesses within your body? If you don't believe me, do the research yourself. There have been studies that show that those who are unforgiving or easily angered are less likely to heal from different illnesses and diseases. When you hold on to the emotional stuff, to trauma and whatnot, it can manifest in your body physically instead of just emotionally. So that's why I strongly encourage you to find healthy ways to release your anger and your unforgiveness. It's not just for your marriage, the health of your marriage, but it's for your physical health as well. I have journals that I have created to help people to work through these emotions. Of course, this is not a substitute for therapy. This is not therapy, but it's just something that you can potentially use. You can use it with your kids. You can use it as an adult or whatever. But this is a forgiveness journal. It has pages for you to write in there, as well as questions for you to ask yourself to help you to work through that emotion. Same thing for anger. I have one for anger as well. And it's the same thing, pages for you to journal and then questions in the front to help you to work through the anger that you're experiencing. Now also tell me, how was anger shown within your childhood? How is anger shown within your relationship? Give some people in the comment section advice on how you handle these things or how you can improve, how you can do better. And remember, do not allow your anger to speak or act for you. Do not allow your unforgiveness to speak or act for you. Do not do a tit for tat type of thing, because somebody's always going to take it too far. And if you're feeling angry and you say something, then guess what? You can't take it back. You can't take words back. You can't take actions back. So that's why, once again, it is so important for you to learn to regulate your emotions, as well as to learn to be forgiving, so that you're not carrying things, issues into the next day. Also, so that you're not bleeding on people who didn't cut you. Maybe you're unforgiving of a previous spouse or a previous relationship, whether it's platonic, familial, or romantic, and you're bleeding on your spouse who did not cut you. That's all that I have for today. As usual, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time that I post a video. If you're finding this series helpful, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section. Send it to a friend. They may find it helpful as well. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure you also leave them in the comment section. I would love to clarify any areas that I have not been clear in. And as a reminder, on Mondays I post the same scripture, but just as it's relating to parenthood, parent and child relationship. And on Thursdays is when I post the romantic relationships. So if you have children, you might want to check those out, the ones on Monday out as well. Until next time.